Breezy.
Yeah.
Looks like they back for a 5th season, man.
Who that?
Sports Roundtable.
Who?
SRT
Yeah.
Crew.
Whoa.
SRT. They got that realness flowing in they DNA. Damn you lame if you ain't tuned to SRT today. HO got that payload when he say so. What you betting on? Don't get mad at me on fantasy. Break up Kyrie LeBron. I be smooth as sports superhero Hancock in the mix. Deal with roll tide forever. Real talk, you know who he gon' pick. See where I be with SRT behind the glass. That G-Money. Mayweather strong. I never lose. 6-man elite. That's J Smooth.
All you other sports radio shows is fake news. Believe it. Turn up your radios, cause it's time for SRT Radio. Yeah.
What up? It's Sports Roundtable, and we are live from our virtual studios overlooking everywhere. As Sports Roundtable and SRT Crew is back. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, Hancock said he will be on, but I do have my main man. There's Mr. Asa Brown is in the building. One time for my main man, Asa Brown.
What's going on? HO, you good?
Glad to have you back, bro. Glad to have you back. And first of all, let me just say I'm glad to have you back in many ways than one, because I know that you had another scare. And as soon as I saw that, I reached out to you immediately to make sure that God is with you and let you know that the SRT tenants and I'm with you as well. So glad to have you back, and thank goodness and thank God that you're here, still here with us to deliver some of your sports knowledge.
Yes, sir. I appreciate everybody who reached out to me. There's a lot of people who I wasn't able to, get back in touch with just because of the medication and stuff they had me on. But everybody's thoughts and prayers did the trick. And as you said, I'm still here and gonna be here as long as I need, as long as he allows me to be.
Okay, good deal. I'm sure it's been a tough go for you, but you're looking good. I must say you're looking good, and thank God for that. And yeah, so we definitely got to get over to the Big E's and make sure you get on some of them shrimp if you can still eat them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, no. They've taken me off any dietary restrictions, so I'm good to go.
Okay, all right, good deal. Absolutely great. All right, cool, man. We got a lot of things to talk about. We got today is Atlanta Hawks draft day. How are you feeling about that? First of all, how are you feeling about the Atlanta Hawks draft? And are you excited? Are you curious? What's your emotion today, knowing that the Hawks had the first pick?
I'm curious of what they're going to do, or curious about who they're going to pick and how they want to go about it.
Okay.
So
do you have a preference?
I'm not excited. I'm not excited because to have the number one pick and then probably have one of the weaker drafts in the last 5-7 years. So having the number one pick may not be too much of an advantage this year.
I agree.
So now, with that being said, how much trust do you have on the front office and being able to find gems? Or how much are you confident in the front office to build a team? And then that's where my curiosity and not the excitement. The reason why the excitement is not there, but more so the curiosity.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Well, cool. As we continue to want to welcome everybody who's tuning in. We appreciate you tuning in. Let's go ahead and jump into some hot news. Yes, sir. The hot news sponsored by our friends at Big Easy Grill. 1193 Collier Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Big Easy Grill, the best Louisiana seafood in town. I promise you that. Trust me when I tell you, Big Easy Grill is the best Louisiana spot in town. Takes 2 bites to get rid of one shrimp. The crab claws are unbelievable appetizer. Also, the shrimp po' boy is one of the best I've ever had. And let's not forget about that seafood pasta. Yes, sir. Seafood pasta is a must have. Check out Big E's Grill, bigeasgrill.com, and make sure you mention SRT or Sports Roundtable. Get your 10% discount on any meals, $25 or more. All right, Asa, here we go. Our first item up to bid is can we finally show Angel Reese some love?
Yeah, we've been showing Angel Reese love. Just depend on, as you so famously mentioned before, what echo chamber you in.
Right.
But we based, I mean, what she's averaging a double double, and we're not talking about 10 and 11, but she's averaging 15 plus points, 10 plus double doubles. She set the WNBA record recently of what, like eight straight, nine straight.
Yeah, 8 straight. Yeah.
So so I mean,
Most in the
and
history of the WNBA.
yeah, and everything for those who follow women's NCAA women's basketball, everything that was said about her as far as you know being a grinder, um, uh, what she's displaying right now, I don't think she still have shown everything. She's just playing for within the system that they have right now with the Sky. Um, but I think people from the outside looking in were probably trying to compare her more to Caitlin Clark, and she's not that kind of player. So, you know, she is what she's showing now. I believe she could probably score a little bit more, but that's going to come with time and as she develops as a professional. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but right now she's the rookie of the year. I think it's going to be a close race though, because I believe because the Olympics is coming up, Caitlin didn't get invited. She's going to have time to rest. They're going to have time to probably practice more and get to know her teammates. Uh, and so I feel Indiana might have a bigger second half of the season than Chicago. But it's going to be interesting.
All right. My main man Hancock is up. Look like I'm finna go ahead and bring him on and get his thoughts on it as well. Then my main man, Mr. Hancock, the sports superhero is in the building. I see you sat directly behind the Cowboy sign today.
We
Is
we
there
get
anything we need to
we getting to that time of year. You know what's good. What's up, fellas? How's it going?
What's
Yeah,
going
man.
on?
I had to get Asa in here and bring him up to speed and everything. Asa been out sick for a little while, so when you told me you may have some problem, I said, well, you know what? Let me see if Ace is off injured reserve, and he obliged me by coming on through. And Hancock, we right now talking about can we finally give Angel Reese some love? And Ace just adequately gave his thoughts on that. So I want to get your thoughts. Can we get Angel Reese some love right now?
Well, I think she took the love. This past weekend, there was no doubt the type of basketball she can play. So I think that's going to be it's going to be deserved anyway. She doesn't have to worry about whether it's going to be given because she's going to put forth the effort, and I think it's going to garner that kind of acclaim, that kind of recognition anyway. The thing that pure basketball people always kind of gravitate to are hard workers, people that don't seem like they're given something, or that you're
Mm-hmm.
just so much more talented. You're able to do one particular thing like shoot. I think that's been one of the detractors. And I know sometimes people might say, well, you always revolve everything around Golden State. But the pushback on them was that they were soft, that, they didn't, that their thing was all aesthetics. There was no really grind to these rich kids who had basketball fathers and, the lineage there. They were just kind of like they were born with a golden spoon in their mouth, silver spoon. I'm sorry, wrong vernacular, wrong term. But what I'm saying to you is that when we look at Caitlin Clark, we see a tough, rugged basketball player. The essence of what people say the 90s and the 80s were, that, that's when basketball was basketball. Well, they cannot come and say anything negative about her being soft or her being given, because she goes every inch of the way on that hardwood. She's bodying, banging, grabbing, doing whatever it takes to win. So in that essence, I think she's going to take what she wants, and I think the pure basketball people are going to gravitate to it. It's going to always be some pushback because she's not what we look at as a girl. That's what
Right.
and she proclaims herself to be a dog,
Yeah,
and
that's
she
what she
wears
said.
that as a badge of honor. So yeah, I think she's going to take that acclaim, take that attention. So my hats off to her. So whether they give her love or show her some love or whatever, she's going to take the love. You can see it happening overnight.
All right, so I got another question to follow that up. Has she been unfairly judged and compared to based on what people want her to be, or just a unfairly judged because of what people don't want her to become?
Big homie,
Go ahead.
I don't know if you were shooting that at me first or not, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, and then Ace can expound on whatever he wants to say. I keep telling you everything. This is a racial thing, and it's good and it's bad. It's what drives the conversation in this sport. It's why we are enjoying basketball. And I'll harken back to what I said last week. Had Larry Bird been a black man, the NBA probably still be on tape delay. It's what drives raising. It's what drives conversation. And when Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are the perfect storm, it's like you have this brash black athlete who's, I won't say her skill level is all that, but then you have a basketball player in Caitlin Clark who's undeniably great. I know you said to you there was nothing that showed up to you that would make you go see her play. And I understand that. Beauty can be in the eye of the beholder. But when I watch her play, her advancing of the basketball in break situation, hitting people on point and they can't catch the ball, her averaging 6 to 8 assists, her rebounding, her running the show, her scoring, she can play hard. I mean, her basketball ability, her IQ is top. And it's going to only get better. And you can see the game starting to slow down in certain situations for her. Now, that's just what I see. I think she can play. But getting back to my, I think it's just a perfect storm. Had Caitlin Clark been a black girl, they just been two black girls coming to the WNBA. I'll just be honest with you. The race factor elevated this thing, and it's almost like you can't pick a side. I mean, well, you have to pick a side. You can't straddle the fence. Either you're here or you're there, and that's what drives everything. It just, to me, it totally is. But go ahead, Ace. I'm sorry. I don't want to monopolize.
Oh, nah. So you kind of touched on everything I was gonna touch on. I hadn't heard if Larry Bird was black. The NBA would still be on tape delay. That's a good one. But for those who don't know, like when the ABA went into the NBA, yes, it was hard to find an NBA game. You had to watch it the next day. It was 24 hours, 2 day delay or whatever, depending on where you were at. But I was just saying before you came on about Reese. People who watch from afar are probably thinking that Angel Reese should be a similar type player as Caitlin is, and they're two different players. To your point, Caitlin is a rebounder. She does the dirty work. Um, you notice when they both were getting their rookie haze in that first couple of weeks, Reese didn't complain, but nobody came to her defense the way they came to CC's defense. But that's because more eyes were coming in to see CC and not so much Angel Reese. Um, so to your point, she's taking her love. She's not going to be given. I think she got the respect the respect on first couple of weeks, like I said, taking that beating inside the paint and holding her own. But I also believe she's just right now functioning within the scheme that the Sky runs, and I feel as this season goes on and later and more in her career, they're going to open some things up. I believe she does have some more offensive skill, but that's just not where where she cashes her checks right now. So, um, but should be a close race to Rookie of the Year. I believe Angel Reese at this moment, if you ask me today, she's the Rookie of the Year. But I reserve the right to change my mind toward the end of the season because I just believe the scheduling is going to work out in CC's favor with the Olympic breaks, her not being on the team, her being able to get rest, her being able to probably be able to get more rhythm with her teammates. Um, and I believe the coach might open up a little bit more. I feel like that was part of the problem first half of the season with CC as well. Coach wasn't coaching. Like I just you got to run screens, you got to get her keep her moving. Everybody's picking her up 94 feet, setting the
Mhm.
defense up high, and there's nothing being ran off that to counter. I believe the first part of the season was more of a coaching problem for CC than it was her getting adapted to the game. But as the coaching evolves, to your point, she's putting dimes out there and people can't catch it. Split
Mm.
passes, 80, you know, three, fourth quarter passes, hitting them on like a quarterback and her teammates dropping the ball. So, how if you watch the games closely, a lot of that stuff is it's not on CC. If you watch Angel Reese's games, she's doing all the dirty work. And when it's time to score, she does, but that's not what they're asking her right now. So,
Yeah, I agree.
so
Fellas,
I think
I agree
I
100%.
feel like I kind of counter back. I feel like I can play both sides of the fence. I understand it's a racial thing, but I feel for basketball people who watch, you should be able to play both
Exactly.
sides and be able to articulate why you on both sides. If you're not a if you're not watching the games closely and you just kind of jumping in for highlights or whatever, then yeah, you're gonna pick a side.
Right, and I agree. And that I wasn't saying the basketball people pick. I mean the people that come in and they're not starting to drive. Like you said, the people coming into the WNBA who had no interest in it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's almost like they're coming in as this fan, and you're not going to change my mind. And I'm coming in as this fan, and you're not going to change my mind. And I mean, those people are what's driving ratings. I mean, the avid.
But
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't watching the WNBA. I played it a little bit last year because I was, gambling with prize picks. So I got somewhat familiar with some of the players watching, my girl in Dallas. I'm sorry, I can't, what's her name? Enrique. Watching her play, she caught my eye. Watching Sabatu, watching Sabali watching her play. I saw Alyssa start to play. Alyssa, wow, I can't think of her name right now. I'm drawing a blank. But her and Bonner play together in Connecticut. I mean, I started to see teams, and I became a little familiar with the sport. And one thing I noticed was there was some skill level there. It's a lot of physicality in that game. And that's what, really brought the comedy or made me laugh at a lot of people because they were saying that they were treating, Caitlin unfair and being more physical with her. If you watch this basketball, the women's game is physical. They knock the hell out of each other. I mean, I think it's more to do with, I don't think there is as, and I'm not trying to be derogatory about it. I don't think they're as coordinated fully as you see when you see men play. So once they get going, it's like they're going downhill and boom, they're going to have collisions. You do have some agile players, but more times than not, man, they be at points and it's a train wreck. You see some physical play out there. So that's what was funny to me was that, people would say, all right, they just being physical hurt. No, they're physical throughout the women's game. If you watch it, you're going to see some hit.
yeah, so
mm.
to your point there, I want to say this. I mean, nobody was kind of quote unquote watching the ABA or the NBA until Bird got together, and to your point, they came, people came, put eyeballs because of the racial factor, but then they never left. And I
Right.
feel like you're gonna get the same type of effect with the WNBA if they play their cards right, where you're gonna have people come to watch, and a good percentage of those folks won't leave no matter what side you're on or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
and for the WNBA, they've had a couple of good drafts. You had the Vegas, with the Vegas and the Liberty with their dominance. the last couple of years, and then now you have this core of rookies coming in, and there's just as good as a group coming in next year. So the joke around is you got Larry and Bird with Angel and Caitlin, but Jordan is out there at USC.
Yes,
And she'll
Exactly.
probably
exactly.
go and she'll probably go number one. She'll definitely be a top five pick. So and then you got
Right.
Paige up in UConn. So
Exactly.
you you have so these next couple of years, these next 5 to 7 seasons should be real good if the WNBA plays their hand right with the eyeballs on these two ladies right now.
Agreed.
Hey, so real quick, let me go ahead and give a shout out to my main man, Mr. Jollis Myrick. Happy birthday to my cousin Jay. Today is his birthday, and he's the owner and
Happy birthday,
CEO of
Jay.
Jay's Jewelry Stars. And he told me something real profound today, fellas. He said that Caitlyn may be the superstar or the perceived superstar, the perception of the better player, but Angel Reese plays her position better than anybody in the league right now. And
Well,
I think that was very profound.
yeah, I love that she has a will in her to win, and you could see that. I mean, she drives the balls, and when she goes after it, uh, it's not like just reaching or whatever. It's a hunger in her to win, a will to win, and it's showing, man. And I what they talked about a minute ago was like they'll start running more around it. Late in that game, they were running plays to get her the ball inside and let her bang and go to the basket. So I do think they need to incorporate that more. I'm glad to see that they are incorporating more for offense. Now, it needs some refining. Don't get me wrong, because
Yeah, oh, yeah,
she's
yeah.
she's going to go one way strong, and it's going to go up hard. But I
Yeah.
love watching her play, and I think as she develops and gets a little bit more skill, able to use the other hand and go, she's going to be a beast. I really believe it. I don't know if she'll be Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson is ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
Now that
yeah,
you talking about a
so
dog.
yeah.
If Angel Reese is a dog, then what is Asia Wilson?
A wolf.
uh, she, see, and the thing about it, Asia can step out and shoot the face-up jumper also. That's
Yeah.
the thing. She can take her game out a little far. Right now,
Mhm.
all we see with Angel is a power game. When she
Yeah.
she does have a good first step to get to the basket. But when you have to honor that 12 to 15-foot jumper on her, oh, she gonna be a beast. That's what's
Yeah.
going. Then her game is gonna elevate, seriously. But man, I mean, just watching her play now, I'm really happy because she shut up some people, and I'm just foreshadowing one of my busters later on in the program when we get to that section, who has been a big detractor of hers, and he had to eat some
Right.
words. But we'll talk about that later.
Absolutely. Whereas you see your cuz said Team Angel Reese. And
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Team Angel Reese, because I think she has been unfairly judged, and I'm gonna be honest, she has been unfairly judged because everybody is trying to compare her to greats like a Sarah Swoop or a Maya Moore because of the skin color. Let's be real. And that is an unfair comparison. There have been some great basketball players that has done their job very, very well, like a Dennis Rodman. He won a superstar, but for what he was getting paid to do, he did it better than anybody. Bruce Bowen, Robert Ory, all these like doing what they were paid to do, and they did it very, very well. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and take the judgment off of Angel Reese, and let's allow her to flourish in the role that the team needs her in, because right now they're winning. I mean, the Chicago Sky is winning. They are probably surpassed any expectation that they had coming in this year. And Marlon, you're right. Michael Cooper, another guy who was did his role very, very
You know,
well for what he was.
I understand what you're saying, and I do agree that she needs to be allowed to simmer. The problem with that is that those people you named weren't in the top 3 of the draft. That's the only thing. So she's going to have the expectations to be more of a star. You know, she's right now starring in her role, and I think with the name she has, that's going to be the issue. And I'm not, believe me, I'm not going against your point at all, because I do think she needs time, and you can't judge her against greats of the past. The problem is that coming in, what was she, second or third? What was she, third pick in the draft? Second or third pick in the draft?
I think 7. Once she's 7th or 4th.
No, she's top 5 pick, I believe.
Top 5. I think she was number 4 then.
Right. So when you're taking that high, that's the thing about it. When you talk about the Michael Coopers and Rodmans and things of that nature, they were in the Robert Horry. Those are supplementary pieces. To be a piece that has to be, they look for her to be dominant. I mean, just be honest with you. She's got to be that double. She has to go with the crown she's been given. It's going to be a heavy head. Her head is going to be heavy. She got to carry it. And I mean, I'm not saying, like I said again, I can't say that I got to make her Maya Moore. What's that?
And she's asked for some of that too.
Right, exactly. She asked for it. And I like you said, it's tough to compare her to Maya Moore. It's tough to compare her to the greats that you talked about that played on Cheryl Swoops, played with the Comets and all those people. But the thing about it is, when she does what she does the other day, and she's a top pick coming in to lead one of the big names, all bets are off now. She can't be. They're not looking for her to be a role player, and that's going to be a problem. It's a double-edged sword. And that's the thing. I do think she has the shoulders to carry it, so I'm happy in that respect. So yeah, some of it's unfair, but some of it's going. You know what? Like we said a minute ago, the head is heavy that wears the crown, and right now, her and Caitlin Clark, they wear the crown.
I feel you. Let me go ahead and square up some of the confusion of what. Just to clarify. I just wanted to know that last week I stated that if I would have gone down to see the Fever and the Dream play, I would have been disappointed. I would have felt like I got robbed because it wasn't exciting to me. And again, I'm not saying Caitlin can't play, but for me, when I first saw Maya Moore play, maybe I'm spoiled. I'm like, bruh, you know, I sat in that 85 traffic for over an hour just to go see her play. And I'm like, bro, she was worth every dime that I spent. And I would have spent the night to see her again. Maybe I'm spoiled, but I mean, and I'm not trying to compare the two, but at the same time, the excitement of what, yeah, she can pass up the floor, she can get assists and all that, but that doesn't excite me. That's something that is part of the game. I mean, if you out there playing, you in the NBA, it's something you should be able to do anyway. I mean, it just doesn't excite me.
I mean,
it just doesn't excite me for all the hype that she's getting. I mean,
he got a high standard.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not saying she can't play. It just is not exciting to watch to me. You know, it just not. It doesn't.
She's setting a lot of rookie records, though, big homie. I mean, her
yeah, but the rookie records are not exciting.
But if they, I feel. Well, I mean, it's in the eye of the beholder. And I mean, I some of the things I look at when she does, I'm like, that ain't just normal passes. That ain't just normal floor vision. Those are things that the average player just don't do. I mean, I'm gonna put it like this. I understand the excitement might not be there for everybody, whatever. And I'm not saying that I'm totally just, Caitlin Clark. I'm not that. I'm just saying I can recognize the basketball IQ she has and how she plays the game. And if she wants those players, if they get some players, like if you watch our play South Carolina 2 years ago in that semifinal game, now they lost to LSU, but that game she played against South Carolina, those hit-ahead passes and passes she was making and scoring she was doing, those girls knew and they caught her passes. And it opened the floor. South Carolina couldn't touch her. She killed it.
That's why the following year, South Carolina had a whole new defense set up. They were like, we got to start picking this young lady up 95 feet, not 94. Got to pick her up.
Yeah,
right.
They got to pick her up at the end of the bench.
Yeah.
Right. But I think what your point you're making is saying that she can play, and that's not my point. I'm not saying that she can't play. My point is throwing it ahead is not exciting. I'm saying she can play. She can make great plays and things of that nature. It's just not exciting for me. I mean, that's all I'm saying. It's not
okay. Well,
I'm not gonna pay $200 to watch her throw the ball up ahead to make a good pass.
But what I'm confused on, okay, so what, because I'm just trying to see, this is not back and forth with me and you. When you watch Maya play, what was it about her game that excited you if it wasn't assist, rebound, and scoring and making her team better? I'm trying to understand it.
It was the way she did it. Like, it was, if she got the ball on the break, somebody tried to steal it behind the back pass, the layup with the left hand as a female. I mean, that was exciting. The finger roll. I mean, just the finger roll. I mean, it all that. It's like the pump fake step back three. I mean, again, I hadn't seen that yet. Not from a female, not at that level. Not at a high school. I mean, you talking about a ninth grader. This girl is just 14 years old doing this against seniors.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was exciting. That was super exciting.
I feel like H.O., I feel like you followed Maya more longer than you followed Cece. And then
I'm not saying she can't play. I'm not saying that she can't not play.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I think you followed her, Maya early in her career, and at that time, so the WNBA to me has 3 chapters so far. You got obviously those first 5 years when the comments were loaded, and you had Cheryl Swoops and the likes, and that was exciting. Then you kind of had a drop off, and then you started having all the Connecticut players come in, Maya Moore, Taurasi. That was chapter 2, and they ran their course. And then you had a drop off, and now you got this chapter 3 with these young ladies as far as Caitlin and Reese, Paige next year. Well, I should say these last couple of years, Asia Wilson, and that draft coming into Caitlin and Reese or whatever. So to me, they're in their chapter 3. I feel like if the way you're talking, I guess Asia Wilson would be my exciting person. I would rather have seen Asia Wilson the last couple of years for the first time, and I'm not getting that feel for Cece. But I feel like that's just the brand of basketball and that she plays. And it might be more of, okay, we've seen it with Steph and the Golden State Warriors, and we see it all day in the NBA, guys jacking up threes. And so she kind of has that, but we don't see a lot of the inside movement, the slip passes and things of that nature. So I get where you're coming from. I feel more for Cece, the coaching staff and her teammates, than I feel the pressure is on Cece. They got to come up and raise to their level.
I even think Juju is more exciting to watch than Cece right now, and Juju is still in college.
Yeah, I'm the excitement word to me is kind of, I don't know about excited. I think we do love entertainment. We love excitement. We love the behind the back pass. We love that. But I mean, I'm watching this girl play, and I'm impressed. I just got to give it up. I'm impressed because she affects the game, and it's like they're not empty plays that she's doing. Her assists, her rebounding, her running the show affects the game, and that's you know, it might not be a behind the back pass, but it's a pass that's on time. It's a pass to put somebody in a place to get an easy bucket. It's a timely rebound. It's a, you know, even a hockey assist where it's put the pass over here where it can be an easy entry pass or do whatever. The thing I do think that she needs to work on is that if you watch her play, when you push her right, she can't get her shot off. And I think that that's what people are going to have, they're taking away from her. As you can see, when she goes left, she can get that three up because she does that step back and she can get it away. But going right, it's not the same ball player. Now you watch how teams are playing her now. They're pushing her right and they're taking her again. Like she couldn't get a clutch shot late in the game when they needed her to get the shot off. She wasn't able to get it off because they kept pushing her right. And that's they're taken away from. But that's going to come in time when they get better and she gets more skilled and better and understands her weaknesses. Because like playing against girls throughout college, she could get away with stuff. Michael Vick got away with stuff till he got to the NFL. I mean, it is what it is. So she has to develop. But her basketball IQ for the game, I've seen her play a few times this year, and she doesn't force up a lot of shots. You know, she doesn't just say, okay, I'm going to shoot this, shoot. She's still playing within the confines of the game and with the parameters, the restrictions and everything. So, like I said, it's going to take time. No, she's not ready to be the dominant player in the WNBA. But the way she plays, with she gets some more coaching and some more skilled players around her that understand how to receive the basketball, I'm telling you, man, she's nice.
You sound more like a scout than you do an announcer at this point.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying what I watched.
Yeah, you sound like a scout trying to convince me that she can play and how good she is, in which I don't really need convincing of that. Everything that you see and said, I can see it. The only thing I'm saying is just it's not exciting to me. Now, if you want, go ahead, Ace.
No, I'm saying I'm back to the coaching. I don't think they have opened up that offense, and I don't think they have utilized CC's her skill level yet. And
I want to see her go up against Raven again and see if she can unlock that door. And let's see how excited that'll be.
I'm saying after the Olympics, let's see what happens. Because again, obviously she didn't make the team, so she's gonna have time to make some adjustments there. If the coach is worth her salt, she'll make some adjustments there too. So the second half of the season, we'll see.
All right, we done definitely spent a whole lot of time on Angel Reese and CC and.
But that's a good thing, though. That's how much the WNBA has come, right? That's to me, this is a good thing.
So in actuality, I'm paying homage if I'm doing the notes and spending time on this. So I'm giving them love. So
yeah,
let's not. But we got to move on because I got my main man E-Dub coming on about 7:45. He down at the arena.
Oh yeah.
You know, I got to see what he got to say. But before we get to that, my next question is: will there be an undefeated college football team ever again with all the realignment and the more competitive conferences and things and all the movement of the NIL and things of that nature? Will we see another undefeated season again in college football? Ace, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, we definitely will.
You think so?
We definitely will. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys ain't leaving. You know, this ain't the college basketball where guys can leave early and go to the NBA. You got to pretty much stay there in 4 years. So, you know, you're gonna have teams that will get senior laden, senior heavy teams. And I feel like with the ability to transfer, unless they, put some more regulations on that, I think you'll be able to, quote unquote, be able to build some super teams in college football. So you're definitely now. I guess to counteract my own argument, if you're going to wind up playing 15, 16, or 17 games and pretty much be the NFL, then my answer to that would be no. Because you know what I mean? Because the more you play, the more likely you're going to lose, right? But if they can keep the games at about 14, I feel like yes, you'll still have some undefeated teams. But if they get into that 15, 16, one extra game, two extra games, then now you got to start factoring in injuries and all that kind of stuff. So, you know.
Yeah,
All right, now
I agree.
we
I think
we
that
did see. Hold on before you go in. We have seen more parity in college basketball because of the NIL and things of that nature. We don't see these blue blood schools just ripping and running away with a number one seed and being in the Final Fours and all that anymore because of the NIL. So the parity has spread all around college basketball. Will this affect college football now? All right, go ahead, Han.
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing is these conferences now are getting more power teams in them, and the more they do that, it's going to be a little harder to do that. When you look at SEC, you got Texas, Bama, you know, and whoever
Oklahoma
else
coming.
this got to
Oklahoma,
be. Yeah, Georgia. I
Georgia.
mean, those are powerhouse football teams, and yeah, it's going to be hard to go undefeated because now with the you talked about NIL money. You know, a couple of big time recruits, and you have a decent football team can raise your level. And the thing now is you have to have coaches that can either adapt or grow with what the NIL brings with the transfer portal and everything that goes on. The thing that I told you that I always respected about Coach K and about Saban while he was there, and that's why Saban left, is that they understood the ties and how it changed. Coach K went from having a program where he had a guy in his program for at least 3 years, 2 to 3 years, to dealing with one and dones and being able to adapt in one because he saw the changing of the guard. Nick Saban did the same thing with his football team. He understood big offensive line, big defensive line wasn't the game because everybody was running hurry up. So he had to change his style of football and had to say, okay, we just can't rely on getting 2 touchdowns and winning the national championship. He went in, he got an offense coordinator that could put up 30, 40 points because that's the way the game changed. These coaches now have to understand that the players now are different. Their mentalities are different. They have to deal with certain things that they didn't have to deal with in the past. They got to deal with a kid that's probably living in a condo, driving in a Lamborghini, and probably can, question his salary and do whatever. He has to understand now, I can't talk to that kid that type of way. I have to relate to him more than coach him in a manner. Now, the coaches that are able to do this, when we talk about Lane Kiffin, I think he's going to be able to deal with it because I think he's able to walk that line. But you'll see these coaches that are hardliners, that don't allow this, that want you to wear your hair a certain way or they're not going to be successful in this day and time because these kids now are not going to put up with it. So I think that getting back to your point, the coaches that can relate to their players and have their program stay fluid with the 5 stars and 4 stars that allow them to express themselves and be what they are, they're going to be successful. You'll have a chance for winning undefeated teams. But that to me is the key. You got to have the right coach in the right situation. He got to understand what's going on in this game right now. Then I think you could have an undefeated team for a season.
All right, hold on while I get I gotta send E-Dub the link again. And I see
Okay.
what Coach said that he don't think it'll happen at all, that NIL has brought about the atmosphere of parity and equality. Marlon says that he think that the playing field, the development of players still comes into play regardless of the NIL and all the transfers and things of that nature. So And let's see what Bob says. Bob been having a rough week, so we got to give our thoughts and prayers to Bob. Bob lost his father this past week.
Man.
So Bob,
Shout out.
your condolences and prayers are with you from the
Yes,
SRT
sir.
crew and attendants. But he
Yeah.
says that when you see major college coaches walking away, that's when you know NIL is working and the parity is back in the NCAA. I think I agree with Bob on that for sure. Definitely agree with Bob on that for sure.
But I also believe,
So
man, that one or two extra games is gonna be tough on everybody. Like I said, I
Yeah.
probably gonna shoot my own argument down, but it used to be 11 games, right? Then it was 12,
Right.
then it was 13, now it's 14. If they keep on expanding the playoff, you're gonna get to 15 or 16 games. It's I guess I'm changing my mind. To answer your question, no, they won't be any undefeated teams. Because I mean, how often does it happen in the NFL? Rarely.
Yeah. Rarely.
yeah, I agree. All right, fellas,
So
we're gonna take a quick pause on that. We're gonna get back to that in our roundtable discussion because right now it is time to get to our Atlanta Hawks report. And I got my main man live down at the Emory facility where the Hawks are doing their thing. My main man E-Dub had to walk outside to get some fresh air because the pressure is mounting up in that facility. E-Dub, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, fellas? Happy draft day to all of y'all. Hope you all are well.
Yeah,
yes,
What's up,
absolutely.
B
So my
Dub?
first question is, what is your emotion? Are you excited? Are you curious? Are you just like, man, I don't really care? Or what's your one word excitement that you're gonna use for emotionally for today?
My word is relief. I've had to fill about a month and a half of content of who the Hawks are going to pick, and I still don't have a bead on who is going to go number one. But I'm glad that the day is finally here, and the pick can finally be made.
Hey, so uh it's funny, E-Dub, that being with Sports Roundtable for over 10 years now, everywhere I go, people always ask me sports questions. And they asked me today, my cousin asked me, what would you do with the pick? If you was a GM, what would you do with this pick? And I simply said that I wanted to run it by you first before I told him what I would do, but I would love to see what you thought about this. Um, Trading Trey Young to San Antonio for Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson, along with getting back the number 4 pick as well. And then drafting the 7-2 guy out of UConn. And by the time the trade deadline get here, we can go ahead and get rid of Clint if somebody needs a big center.
Well, yeah.
Uh-oh.
You're talking schools of thought, right? There's what you would
Oh, I think you're in the bad spot
do
there,
with
buddy.
the draft.
I think you're in the bad spot. We couldn't hear
And we
you.
lost him.
Yeah.
I think you lost him, Big Home. Maybe he'll get back in a minute.
Okay, yeah.
Can I
Oh,
say
there we
there he
go.
is. There he is.
Can you see it? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now. Yeah.
Okay. So I think you have two issues there. I think you're looking at what you would do from a roster standpoint and what you would do from a draft standpoint.
Okay.
I'm with you, bro. Like, and I would go one further. I would say you trade both of them because look at the haul you got from Miles Bridges, right? You got 4 to 5 first round draft picks, and he's not even an all star. Think about what you can get for Trey Young and DeJounte Murray. Like, you can keep on
Ooh.
trying to run this thing back. You can keep on trying to make something fit or build something around. But what? You're going to be what? 40 wins for the next 4 or 5 years? Is that going to put you above the Celtics? Is that going to put you
Mhm.
above the Knicks? Is that going to put you above
Right.
the Bucks or even the Pacers or any of those guys? Look, man, I'm with you. Cash out while the cashing is good before you got to sell these guys 50 cents on the dollar. But that is not the popular opinion. But I do see value in what you are saying.
Okay, well, I'm just making sure that I was on point. I don't want to make myself. And then one dude, he agreed with me so much that he said I ought to email the GM and shoot him that suggestion, and hopefully they do what you asked. I'm like,
And
yeah, but
that right
I'm not.
there is the problem, Ho. That right there is the problem. We need to go back and hire Danny Ferry.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
I and with what I mean by that is since Danny Ferry has left, I don't see the front office has had a vision of what they want. Danny Ferry left, and then they decided they tried to become the Golden State Warriors of the East. That's the reason why they decided to pick up Trey and had Luca in their hands. Um, then they went through a couple of cycles of coaches, and then all of a sudden they were like, well, you know what? Let's try to do what the Utah Jazz did, and then let's go get their coach. They to me haven't had a vision of what they want to be, and so their picks have been the picks haven't made sense. So that's where I'm at with this draft. I know it's the number one pick. It happens to be a draft in which we don't have that
Nothing there.
generational changing player. Yeah, basically nothing there. But there are diamonds in the rough. But nobody knows what the Hawks what their vision is. Nobody knows. To your point, are we trying to still build around Trey and Murray? Are we looking to haul off get rid of one of those two guys? Like nobody knows what the Hawks are trying to do. And I don't think they know what they're trying to do.
Hey, Bob said he's on team trade the pick and let's go. And Marlon said the same exact thing. He want the Hawks to trade the pick. And I did get an email today and said that let's do what the Hawks do best. Trade the pick so they won't have to mess up the pick. Hey, so I'm just delivering all the messages.
Yeah,
So,
when they first got the pick, I said on my show, I said the first thing I would do, I would call every single team and see how much value this pick holds, and I would try to shop it.
Yep.
Now, granted, and I'm gonna be honest, like picks are, it's hard to make trades in the NBA. It's really hard. Like it's really hard to make trades in the NBA. So this isn't like NBA 2K, where you can just put something in a generator and it goes through. It's really hard to make picks, but
Right.
as a fan, you hope that they did their due diligence. You hope that they saw what the pick was worth. And, hey, I mean, it makes value, especially with the fact that you're not going to have some picks for the next couple of years. So, yeah, I'm on board with seeing what that pick was. But if no one's going to offer you anything for it, there's nothing you can do with it. You know what I mean?
Asa, I think
Number one picks should be generational picks. And there's not a generational talent in this draft. And
Absolutely
I think I would trade the pick and draft because what we're seeing now is a bunch of picks is what drives things. Look what people are garnering now. You want 5 and 6. Look at Oklahoma City. You look at Phoenix having to give up their picks. Now Brooklyn has the picks. Picks are
Austin
what
had 10 years
the future is. It's about building the organization, not drafting them, but using the picks to build your franchise. So I would parlay this. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Asa, this is what you was trying to say. Marlon just posted it for you.
Yes. Showing up to work, but not doing no work.
All right, so
exactly right.
Edub, what my thing is, we've been hearing rumors about Alex Sarr not want to play for Atlanta, not want to work out for Atlanta, and he's played in the OTE league in Atlanta. So if those things are true, my only thing would have been he must have went to Magic City one night. It wasn't a good night at Magic City. That's the only conclusion that I can come up with.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
It's very odd to go to a job and say, "Give me less money." Like that's odd to me. It's just odd to me to say, "Hey, give me less money," and let me go someplace where it's going to be harder for me to get shot. I don't know, but
But they're
my
foreign
position
players
is
though.
this: as far as Alex Sarr is concerned, I think the Hawks should draft whoever is number one on their board. If that is Alex Sarr, you draft him. I don't care what he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? This is your
right.
job. There are things at my job that I do not like doing, but I have to do. This is your job. You don't like playing a five? All right, that's fine. You're gonna go out there and play the five. Now that could be an old school mentality, but if he's number one in your board, you draft him if you have that pick. And that's just kind of my mentality with the whole Alex Sarr thing.
Okay. Um, do you see any upside with the other guy? What's his name? Zach Lucia Ray or Rika Saray?
Zach
Uh,
Ricochet.
yeah, him. Do
So
you see any upside of us drafting him first?
absolutely. I see value in about five guys if the Hawks wanted to draft. Like, there's not much difference as far as my grading scale on all of these guys. Like, there's levels of degrees. I think on my board, I have Sar, Marisa Shea, and then Klingon. Um, but I see value in all three of these guys if that's what they decide to do. Because you got to think initially they were going to be picking 10th. So if all they walk away with is Zachary Risachet, that's fine. Like, that's fine. It's not a typical number one pick, but it's fine. But I mean, I think all three of those guys have something to offer that the Hawks need.
Who would you
Again,
say is an immediate impact?
The guy who's most ready is Klingon. That is the guy who's most ready to plug and play. A big guy who can automatically defend the rim and give you and ultimately immediately help your interior defense. He's the guy who's most ready to plug and play, and even him is still a project when you look at his offensive skills. So the other two guys are more so projects, long term projects, but Klingon is the guy who's most ready to plug and play.
Yeah, that's not what our chat saying.
so so again, this comes back to if they was to pick Klingon, right, number one, then that tells me they're not shopping Trey. You get what I'm
Well,
saying? Because I mean, as far because what you can't tell me right now the Trey and what's my man from I just had his name.
a
Um,
Congress,
no, with him or
Clint,
Clint Capella
yeah.
is working.
Well, if you draft Klingon, you obviously got to trade both of those guys.
See,
Like, you
so I'm
got to get
saying
rid of
so.
both of them.
But that's what I'm saying. It lets me know I'm more interested on who they draft, just so now I know what they're going to wind up. Maybe what they're thinking about Murray and Trey Young.
Yeah.
That's what this draft tells me. To your point, if it's not much difference in between the 1 and 5 as far as on your board, then now I'm just trying to figure out what the Hawks are thinking.
Well, I think tonight is going to be
This
step
ain't
one.
the
I think tonight is going to be step one in figuring out what direction they're going to take. I think you'll know the direction once you get into free agency. So free agency starts on Sunday. I think once you start seeing what they're doing with the roster, you'll have a better idea of what direction they're going to go in, meaning who's going to be here and who's not going to be here. We could see those moves tonight. We could see them happening on Sunday. So it's still going to take some time before we have some direction. But I'll be honest, there's not many experts out there that know what direction this Hawks team is leaning, and I'm one of them. And I'm not an expert.
So right now, and you got 1 minute before 8 o'clock. So we're gonna let you go so you can get back in there and cover what you need to cover. So right now, you don't have a pick. You don't know where we're going with the pick. So when they pick at 8:05 or whenever the case may be, it's gonna be a surprise to all of us, is what you're saying.
Well, I think that they're going to pick Risa Shea. I think that they're trying to move down. I think if they move down, I think that Klingon will be in play if they move down. I think if all things stay pat, if they stay pat, I think they're gonna go with Risa Shea. That's my thought. Me personally, I would go with whoever's on the board, who was ever number one on your board. For me, who's number one on my board is Alex Sarr. But I think they're going to end up drafting Shea, and I don't think ultimately that's too bad of a thing.
Okay. All right, bro. It's 8:00. Go ahead and get back into the building so you can cover what you need to cover. And we appreciate it, man. And I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
No doubt, brothers. Anytime. See y'all.
All right,
Yes,
good
sir.
deal.
Stay safe, man.
All right, bro. It's 8:00, man. It's time to get down. We're gonna see what them Hawks go do. I guess I need to change my channel to what's going
I
on with the Hawks.
wouldn't take Clean with nobody pick. I'm sorry. The NBA is not that type of league, man. If you number one should be a franchise changer. If it's not a franchise changing player in this draft, you trade back or trade out to a team that's going to be highly in the draft next year. Get 2 or 3 picks for next year. You might luck up and get the next Great White Hope and Cooper Flag. Do something that makes sense. This makes no sense. If it's nothing in here that's going to change your franchise, why are you spending the draft pick on it? This is horrible. I keep saying this over and over and over. These players they picking don't do anything. I told you about the boy in Detroit. They talked about him. Now, Paolo is turning into a ball player. I give you that. Mm-hmm. But they're 1 out of every 5. I don't see a number 1 draft pick in this draft. A real one. He might be number 1 because he's coming out this year. But that might, in 2 years, you're going to look and say, man, if they could reshuffle this draft, the Hawks should have took this wing right here that would have been a player. They never know. They never know. You couldn't pass on Wemby. I understand that. I wouldn't have passed on Wemby. But there have been a lot of number 1s that I passed on. And I'm going to tell you right now, Clingan would definitely be one I would not be looking at. I'm sorry. That is not a number 1. That's not what you're doing. I don't care. He could be 8 feet tall. I don't care. He ain't got, you talking about unexciting? Man, I'm going to get Caleb Clark before I get Clingan. Come on, man. That's not going to happen. I just don't see it. I wouldn't, Ricochet, Rabbit, Ricochet, whatever his name, Alex Saw, they could all have all of them. I would trade back, get some picks, bring in some wings that can defend from these teams, and identify putting players in place. Boston has shown you depth matters. You can't go out here now and front load the team. You got to have wings that can play and defend. They got to be good two-way players. They got to be able to space the floor. Clingan ain't spacing no floor. He ain't going to be able to switch out on that high pitch roll.
Hancock, I see you trying to get the plate passed around tonight because these boys saying that Clingan is another John Concact. Marlon said, speak on it, and I guess you go pass the plate around. Give me cash.
Yeah,
and Marlon said he'll draft Bronny before he draft Clingan.
I mean, to your point,
I'd rather have a Castle dude. I'd rather have Castle Connecticut.
Oh, I agree. Castle.
The guard
I like
from UConn.
Yeah, I like Castle.
Man, come on. That's what I'm talking about. Whatever. I don't know. To me, the NBA is a different type of league. It ain't that way.
No, I'm with you.
Right, go ahead, Asa.
No, I'm going to like a broken record. Like I said, this is all about front office and what kind of vision they got. To your point, they got Zach Edey not going until late first round, and he was the NCAA Player of the Year 2 out of the 4 years he was there, and he's not going until maybe 29. So it's. I don't have the confidence in the front office that they know what and who they want to pick. I just don't.
I agree.
I mean, there was a few years ago where we had a team full of forwards, and we needed a point guard, and they let CP3 walk right past them. So this ain't nothing new to the Hawks organization on screwing up a pick. So, and when it was obvious. So I don't have any confidence when it's a hard one. Just so it happens to be the number 1 pick. So
all right, Coach said he would take Clingan, solid post player, give him 1 or 2 years.
I would take Clingan just because that would tell me I'm invested in trying to make I'm going to keep Trey Young. And if you're going to kind of keep that offense, Capella's not the guy. I would think Klinger would probably have a little bit more offense than Capella. But I mean, that would be the reason why. So
would you take Hancock? Would you take Klingon if you move back to the number 4 spot?
I don't want. Is this thing on? Hello. I would not take Klingon. Hello. He's not what I'm taking. No, it ain't.
but no, not at number 1, but at 4 or 5. Not at number 1, but at 4 or 5. You don't want him there.
Have y'all watched the NBA? What happens to big white sticks? They get caught in pick and roll outside. Hey, look, he's not Joker. If it was Joker, we got some. But he ain't near Joker. He ain't even a high spade, let alone a Joker. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I don't want him.
It's gonna be a rough night for the Hawks. I don't think whatever they do, nobody gonna be happy with them, other than trading down.
Yeah, boy.
I would trade.
Hey, the ESPN just recognized the Hawks having the championship in 1958 in St. Louis, so I guess it do count.
Okay, that's what we talked about last week. Shout out Hawks.
I don't think that's gonna help us with the first round, with the first pick. All right, so no. Marlon, you see what Marlon said?
No, I don't want it. I'm sorry.
I feel bad for the Hawks. I don't know. Like I said, they're in a no-win situation, but they are on the clock now. So let's see.
Yeah.
All right, Han. If Cooper Flag was in this draft, Cooper Flag would be your first pick without a doubt.
I mean, I think I want to see him play next year, but I think Cooper Flag has athleticism for the NBA game. In the NBA game, you got to be able to move. You got to be able to shoot. You got to be able to you got to be able to do things. I think more than just be the one-dimensional big. Look, even with Joker, Joker can step out and shoot. Joker can go in the post and score. Joker can rebound. And those are things you need. I'm not sure I see that out. I don't see that out of Klinger, whoever he is. That's not the type of play I'm talking about. And even with Joker, the reason that he became that is because playing overseas, the skill he can handle the ball, do what he needs to do with ball skills. I don't see that in Klinger. The NBA, you got to be able to be multifaceted when you're big like that. Do you see that in Klinger? I don't. No, not me.
Because Klingon is a soft center, really soft, not a first round talent at all.
Like I said, he ain't even a high spade. I'm not doing it. I don't need it.
Yeah. All right, and Marlon said, "Oh, we got a chip." Okay, yeah. That the Hawks franchise got a chip 1958. If y'all need to keep record, ESPN final show Atlanta some love, I guess. Marlon said Klingon is a 10-day contract guy.
Do y'all think Trey Young is going to be moved before the season? Do you think Trey will be moved?
No,
and I know you depend a lot on the draft pick.
I think if anybody gets moved first, it's Murray.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he get moved.
I'm hearing a lot of Laker interest. That's all. That's why I'm asking.
If Luka would have, if Dallas would have won the championship, then yeah, but they didn't, so no.
Okay.
I think
well, it looked like the. Okay, Marlon said he plays for the Hawks this year. and Coach said, please revisit in December.
They
Okay,
shaking
maybe
somebody.
January.
Who is it? They pick who they take.
Nobody yet. You probably on the fire stick, so you probably behind me.
But they showing them sticking something in the draft room like they had made the pick. Okay, guess not yet. No, it's still showing Phillips Arena now.
Yeah.
They take quicker. You might have to call in APD.
I know that's right. All right, fella, let's go ahead and move into our baller buses and our bus stop. How about that? Let's go ahead and give us some love. Baller, buster, and bus stop. All right, man. My baller this week goes out to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum secretly gets married to Ella May, has a second child on the way, and wins a championship and about to get $300 million for the next 5 years. How about that?
Whoa.
What a month for Jason Tatum.
Light skin coming back.
Yeah, so light skin with the fresh hairline. Yes, sir. So Jason Tatum is my baller this week. He gets married. Well, I think he's been married through all my Dukes Connect. He's been secretly married
Oh, really?
for about a month now.
Okay.
And about to have a baby. And yeah. And
congrats.
on that note, we did hear that through the grapevine that Jaylen Brown did dump Bernice Boucher or whatever her last name is. The 42-year-old is not with Jaylen Brown anymore. He is dating a young lady from the Chicago Sky.
Who he dating from the Sky?
He got in and out, huh?
The Hawks drafted Zachary Riche.
Yeah. There you
go. The girl from the Sky is let me see. I can't let me see. I can't remember her name. Is that Kyrie's Gondrick?
She don't sound like she from here.
No, she's not from here. I think she's a Brazilian girl. She played for the
Chicago Sky, ain't it?
Just pull up Jaylen Brown, who is dating WNBA star.
Okay. Well, congratulations. Congratulations. You know,
congratulations
all good to him. Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
somebody must have hit me. Did he dump Bernice before he signed the $300 million or afterwards?
Hey, whatever. He had fun. He good. It's all good.
I know.
It's all good.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever works. He don't $300 million. He don't need to marry nobody. But anyway,
nope.
Yeah, I who you got for your baller?
Look, I got a baller and a 1A baller and a baller. And my baller, I'm gonna go with Angel Reese for her game of 25.16 rebounds. I think she had to establish and had to get a win in this game. She had played okay, but she needed a win because if this was this would have been the third win in a row against Caitlin Clark. So I think for it to be a rivalry and something has to happen, you have to have both sides win for it to be a rivalry. So I think this was much needed, and I give her my baller because she really balled. My 1A baller is Reggie Jackson. I would tell everybody within earshot to go and listen to the interview he had on Fox on this Negro League broadcast game where they went to one of the oldest baseball parks in America, where he was I think a AAA ball player, some in Alabama. I think it's called Rick Wood Field. And the way he spoke about his side, I don't think they planned this out well because They were looking for this to be some, flowers and rosy occasion where he would wax poetic. And Reggie Jackson came out and said he wouldn't wish this on anybody coming up in that time and being a ball player in 67 in Alabama, where he was to his face called the N-word, could not go into restaurants and eat, could not stay at hotels and things of that nature, could not eat at Charlie Finley's country club, these type of things. And he came out on national TV and he blasted and talked about it. And this to me was much needed with what's going on in this world, with people trying to wax poetic about slavery and about what we had growing and how this thing was great for him. He told the truth. So shout out Reggie Jackson. He gets my baller, and he told everybody in America what really, really goes on or went on with him coming up through the ranks. So shout out
All right, cool.
Reggie Jackson.
Well, we got our ballers in the chat line. Marty said Angel Reese this week and Davis from last week. And Marla said Shakira Richardson for her resurgence in the world stage in track and field. All right, we can go with that. And Coach said his favorite baseball player all time, so he down with you, Hancock. And Hancock, I think you get a baller this week too.
Shout out, cuz.
All right, Ace. So what you got for your baller this week?
I got 1A and 1B as well. I'm gonna give it to the NHL. Obviously Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup, but Edmonton Oilers coming back from a 3-0 to a 3-3, and almost having an historical comeback to win a 7-game series. But then I give the 1A, the 1B to Connor McDavid, who won their equivalent of the Cosmite Award, is the equivalent of, you could say in the NBA, the MVP award, even though it's for the whole playoff series. Still, he spearheaded that 3-0 comeback to tie it up 3-3, and they fell short in the NHL Stanley Cup final. So that's my two ballers is the Florida Panthers and then Connor McDavid. He's living up to the hype of being, to your point earlier about a number one draft pick to be a generational changing player. Connor McDavid in hockey is living up to that, being a number one draft pick, and now showing why he was picked number one 9 years ago, but he's carried that franchise this whole time.
Right.
All right, for those of y'all who wondering, I just put in the chat who Jaylen Brown is now dating.
Chrissy Gordazeric. Yeah, she ain't from here.
No, she definitely ain't from Decatur.
Well, she's from Michigan though.
By
Be
what?
aware.
She's 5'9", played guard for the Chicago Sky. So y'all just saw her Sunday. You just didn't know who you were looking at.
Yeah. Well, shout out. I check out everywhere.
So Washington. So Alex Sarr got his wish. He wanted to go to the Wizards. So yeah, he didn't want that number one money, I guess. And he didn't get it.
Yeah. He gonna be fine.
He'll be all right.
He gonna be all right.
Hey, Cuz already got a bust in now. He said the Hawks just recently.
Shout out, Cuz. Hey, show you right. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to say the wrong thing because I know the kid got to try to prove himself. But I think this is just a wasted pick, man. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's just a wasted pick, man.
Hey, Marcus said that must be another Michigan city in another country.
In another country. Probably is.
Coach said she looked good.
I bet she does.
She was a first round pick, 4th overall
Yeah,
in
but
WNBA draft 2021. So she's a youngin.
she put the good time to get a man with $300 million.
She's
Patience is a
26 years
virtue, right?
old. Huh?
I said patience is a virtue. She ain't fussing about no WNBA salary. We
No,
go get with an NBA player.
they'll tell you, she came up.
Yeah. Well, I guess they trying to stud them a son or a daughter together. I guess they trying to invest.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for the busters. Y'all already know who my buster is. Come on, y'all quit playing. Yes, Mr. Stephen A. Smith for turning down $90 million and saying that he wants $25 million a year. Man, sit down somewhere.
He might get it though, big
Ain't,
homie.
yeah, he may get it, and I'm gonna still be riding him for getting it because
Hey,
his for what he I guess selling your soul and doing what them folk want you to do for $90 million. I guess that's the going rate. That's what they saying. But to me, and maybe I just maybe it's just my bias or unbiased towards him. You know, for you to talk about everybody trying to get money in the NBA and you turn down $90 million.
yeah. I honestly, and I'm not going to get you busted. But the reason I can see what you're talking about, you gave Pat McAfee a lot of money for not doing the stuff for
He
your
he ain't
network
got he
like
ain't got
he
the
is.
right complexion. He ain't got the right complexion.
I'm not talking about that. I feel what you're saying. I know that's why he got paid, but I understand why Stephen A. would bristle up at you not going a little bit further when you give McAfee and McAfee comes out and talks bad about the people in charge. He
Establishment.
said things that
Yeah.
he went right at the network brass, and it's no problem, nothing. Stephen A. does nothing. He talk about white people sometimes, and talk off the cuff, but he don't go at him like McAfee did. And for McAfee to get that money and him not, I kind of understand Stephen A. in this sense, but I understand that's your buster. I ain't mad at you. My buster
Yeah.
is another black announcer might outweigh Stephen A. a little bit, and that's Jason Whitlock, who learned this week that he could moonwalk a little bit because he came
Oh.
out and said that Angel Reese was the most overrated athlete in sports. And then when she puts up this phenomenal game and has these, 8 or 9 double doubles in a row, now I want to backtrack and talk about her will to win and how she is her ability to turn it on and be a winner and all this kind of stuff, even though her skill level ain't there. But you backtrack because you just got through saying that she was overrated. Then you turn around and talk and try to give her and throw flowers at her when she proves you wrong. So my buster goes out to Jason Whitlock for this, and I should have given Stan Barrett a baller also. I give him an honorary baller for mentioning this and going right at Jason
I,
Whitlock.
I'm about to,
So
I just about to say, and then everybody came at him in the media was like, oh, they mentioned all your points, and you can't have the same energy you had 48 hours ago. Stand on business,
mhm,
and she proves you wrong. Stand on it. Don't, like you say, don't turn
right,
into Michael Jackson and moonwalk back or try to moonwalk back. So,
right.
see, waiting on me. My turn.
Well, hold on. We got some in the
Oh,
chat. Coach said his bust is Texas A&M coach. Which coach? Which
he
coach
just took
is
me.
the,
The baseball coach.
oh, the baseball coach. Okay, go ahead.
So I don't have his name, but he did an interview. So they just Texas A&M just lost the College World Series to Tennessee, and so his name has been in the have been rumored to be taking the Texas job. So he got asked the question after the loss, like, "Hey, you know, is this going to be basically your last game coaching the Aggies? How do you feel about that?" And my guy pretty much had a meltdown saying, "How dare you ask me that question? You know, I sacrificed my family to come here to Texas A&M. La 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 la." So 12 hours later, being announced that he's going to take the Texas job in Austin. So he pretty much did well, man. What's the singer's name?
Roe Williams.
Uh, no, what's the singer's name? He just passed away. Did the Dave Chappelle thing.
Rick
Uh,
James.
Rick James. Rick James talking about, how does it look that I'm going to be stomping all over somebody's couch, and then after I stomp on their couch, so the Texas A&M. The question was legit. Are you going to be going to another job?
Right.
How does it feel? You lost the College World Series. Are you staying? How does it feel for him to kind of rip that reporter or try to rip the reporter a new one to turn around and say, welcome to Texas. Here I am. Is the
Yeah.
bust of the week.
All right, Marta said the buster for him is the WNBA refs. They missing obvious calls. It looks very political right now, he says. And he also said that LeBron James. I'm sorry. Here we go. Honorable mention, Buster. LeBron James, he about to destroy another coach.
Yeah, he sure is. Well, he destroying a franchise. You see, I don't have the Lakers as my backdrop this week.
Yeah, I see. You switched it up for sure.
Yeah.
You did a little worse. You probably should have kept the Lakers up there, but I digress.
Cuz say Whitlock is a kisser, and he don't use another word, but I guess we know. And his buster is his buster. Shikari is his baller. All right, coach. All right, cuz.
Reed Shepard, huh?
Reed Shepard goes third to the Houston Rockets. The Rockets trying to build a little something over there, ain't they?
Again, see, we understand what they're trying to do. We understand what they're trying to do. We don't understand what the Hawks are trying to do.
No, I agree. I don't understand it for sure.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. All right, boy stop. Here we go with our boy stop. My boy stop this week. I hope JJ don't get mad at me for putting him on the boy stop. Even though I got I have a famous picture with Mr. JJ Redick, and my boy stop goes to JJ Redick for saying that LeBron James had nothing to do with his hiring. They didn't never talk about it. They never even mentioned or talk about any job related to the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, I guess he's supposed to say that.
The
Right?
old folks say a lie don't care who tell it.
Yeah, but
there it is. There it is.
If you expect me or anybody to believe that, boy, stop.
I got to pick it back because my boy stop is the whole hiring of JJ and all this backpedaling. I heard what's the GM over there with LA right now? The one who used to be Kobe's agent, whatever his name is. He got on there and flatly said that LeBron James had nothing to do with this hiring. He didn't want to speak on it at all. So but Anthony Davis was the one who was saying this should happen. Come on. Anthony Davis don't even tell what time to be on the bus to make it a ring. This all LeBron James. And Davis ain't even asked what jersey to wear this week. We not wearing the throw. He ain't asked none of that. But get your butt down there. They told him one thing: you got to be a center. If Anthony Davis had any clout, he'd still be on the perimeter shooting threes. That tells you he ain't the one calling the shots. They told him get your butt down there and play center, and he been doing. Anthony Davis ain't making no decisions, y'all. And the Davis ain't even. He got to get with LeBron and see if they can have barbecue chicken wing this week. He is not calling no shot. This was LeBron's decision. Everybody knows it. Stop lying. So yeah, that's my boy. Stop. The whole LA Palinka. Boy, stop, please.
Yeah, please. I'm gonna have to agree with you. The boy stop is the whole LA organization for even contemplating, nonetheless going through with hiring JJ. I mean, this is the equivalent of uh Indianapolis Colts hiring Jeff Saturday.
Exactly. Exactly.
So what's the floor for the Lakers? 10 seed. What's the ceiling? Playing.
Play.
You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what you got with this particular move. I mean, as much as I was dumping on the Hawks front office, I can do the same about the Lakers. If they had hired Hurley, then I'd be like, okay, I see y'all might start trying to go young, and you have a 3, 4, 5 year plan with a coach like Hurley. I don't know what the plan is for the Lakers, because what you got left with LeBron? One more year?
If that.
Dude,
San Antonio just
coached at any level.
No level.
He ain't coached at any level, not one.
Well, hold on.
Level.
He did coach at his fourth grade girls basketball team as a fill-in.
Okay.
Somebody call Jerry Jones. I need a job as a head coach. I might as well coach the Cowboys. It's ridiculous. It don't make no sense, man. You can't be serious, man.
Indeed.
You cannot be serious.
So the Lakers are my
Pop took Stephen Castle. Look, Harris. They took a player. Stephen Castle, a ball player.
No doubt about it. He is a ball player.
I'd rather they traded back and done that and then move DeJounte. Go ahead, move DeJounte. Trade back, get him, move DeJounte. Now you got a backcourt.
Yeah, I agree. Marlon said LeBron got 3 more years left, Ace.
3 where?
To do what?
I might have been with you, Marlon, with 2 years, but 3?
He must go from spending $1 million on his body to $2 million.
I mean, let's just say he has 3 years left. You're not developing any players. That means you got to go through this whole cycle of trying to trade and mix and match, and trying to see who the next, dominant free agents coming out. I just don't see, I don't see no future with that for the Lakers.
Hey, Marta said we had to bring up that Jeff Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
It's the equivalent. It's the same thing. Everybody that started shaking their head, scratching like this man has not coached at any level. How is this supposed to work?
Well, let's go down the list of nobody who have had any coaching experience. Steve Nash, Steve Kerr, Jason Kidd, and Doc Rivers.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Kid and all that. Steve Kerr at least had GM and stuff like that. He had basketball where he kind of went through some stuff to have some in his background and running an organization. Yeah, these other folk, Jason Kidd, I agree with you on that one. He didn't have the experience. But
hey, you see how long it took him to get there. Once he got it, he's a good coach, right?
Exactly.
But he had to go somewhere.
Right.
He had to leave and go somewhere else.
Yeah, true.
So Doc Rivers, same thing. And also it helps for Kerr. You stepped into a well oiled machine,
Yeah, true.
and you
Definitely
brought
true.
in a good staff. Mike Brown, like he had three other head coaches on his staff. Mike Brown being one of them. So um, Steve Nash went into a situation with the Brooklyn Nets. He didn't have, well, he had supposedly had was going to have KD, Kyrie, and
James Harden.
Harden, but he wound up only having two of those guys. He never had the whole package, and they didn't have no bench. So he flamed out. They've been trying to get back right ever since that deal with they basically sold away the future for three guys. I don't see where JJ is built for success. You got an older LeBron, you got AD who one can't stay healthy, and when he is healthy, um, hasn't been dominant like he's supposed to be. We see it in flashes, but he hasn't been dominant. And then everybody else that you have on the roster is more catered to play off of LeBron's strength. So when LeBron leaves, what are you going to do then?
Big
You
homie,
think
we still
Detroit?
watching this draft, and I always ask you about identifying the player that can help change your franchise. When I'm looking at Detroit, and Detroit is obviously not going anywhere. I would have seen what I could do to even get. I think dude's a ball player, and I know he hadn't really done a lot. Well, Cunningham, but I might have traded back to try to move with him and then package to get Castle. I'd like to have them on my team. Castle and Cunningham, at least I got two nice size players that can defend. They size. Cunningham sees the floor, can score. I'd be more with this than getting Ricochet or whoever, Ricochet Rabbit. I just don't understand this, man. I mean, seriously. I mean, I think look at the seasoning that the dude had. Now he might be ready to blossom. You put the right coach and the right system in front of him. I've seen Cunningham have some good flashes and play. I think he's going to be a good basketball player. But I think he's languishing and failing in Detroit. But I would have thought about moving back or moving to try to get him and get a player in this draft. Then you could probably package trade and move him and then bring in some more. Like I said, it was ways to get this team to be competitive. So that's just me.
That's
All
where
right,
that's where
so
you need to go to Indeed and apply for the Hawks GM board
Somebody need to.
because you've convinced me tonight. You convinced me more than the Hawks have convinced me in the last 2 years.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm telling you, man, you could have done something with. I just don't think that. And when you take a number one, it's got to be generational. To me, you got to have a guy that's going to change your franchise. And there was nothing in this draft to change a franchise. I don't see a franchise change in this draft, and I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't have done it. I'd have moved it back. Maybe it moved it next year. Like I said, try to package things to get somebody's pick from next year, move back, took a player, whatever, and start building. And like I said, we might luck in the Cooper Flag or somebody who's coming on next year. The 25 draft is, from what I'm hearing, is supposed to be one of the better drafts coming up. They're saying. I don't know but one name in the draft, and that's Flag. But that's what everybody's saying. 25 should be a good draft.
yeah. So you trying to say that Cooper Flag will stay at Duke for 2 years? You trying to rush
He
him to
gonna
the
say it
draft
to you.
already?
Oh, he coming out, man. You got to come
He
with that
coming
eye
out.
in his eye. Yeah,
He
because
gonna
the
come. He
thing
gonna come out.
about it is,
He gonna come out after the championship game, right?
well, I don't know about all that. Yeah, they ain't nobody in college basketball, so he might as well. I mean, I won't be watching until then anyway, so that's probably when I'll see him.
All right, Martin said JJ could be successful.
Yeah.
But
I'm
if it
not
all
saying he
go
can't
bad,
be. I think it's
yeah.
going to be hard for him though. I just think because here's what's going to happen too. If I'm a coach and that's time for me to go up against the Lakers, I'm not getting out coached by JJ.
Yeah.
You know, we
That's
we
that's
we
fair.
forget that coaches have pride too. So you know, some of that kind of happened to kind of happened to Steve Nash. Guys were like, I'm not getting out coached by Steve Nash. There's no way.
Somebody
I'm on the
named
wrong team.
Ron Holland the second went fifth to Detroit. I don't even know who
G
that
League,
is.
G League Ignite. That's what I'm saying. See,
Yeah, but
Detroit would have given us Cunningham. They don't know what they're doing. We could take Cunningham, man. I mean, you probably could have got Cunningham and gotten Jalen Durham. You had your center, you'd had him, and you could have had Stephen Castle. Now you got good young players. Let's go with it.
Yeah, I
Durham is a
agree.
double every night.
so
All right, fellas, let's go ahead and move on to our next item up the bid, and that's gonna be our roundtable discussion. Let me see if I can put it in here in our banner here. Boom, roundtable discussion. Let's go ahead and give Bo Bell some props, and as he sponsors our roundtable discussion. Bo Bell basketball, Coach Bo Bell basketball, 3 different locations: North, Midtown, and South. Go to coachbobellbasketball.com for more information and get your game up. As he says, footwork is the key to improvement in your basketball game. All right, fellas. Question is this: which are you looking forward to most now that we in baseball season and now the football season is coming up? Is it college football or the NFL? Which one are you choosing to say, I cannot wait for boom to come to get here? All right, Ace, I'll let you go first.
football period. I don't. I'm gonna get excited when they show spring games, red and black, or whoever, orange and blue, crimson and white. I'm like, thank you, somebody getting hit. Um, but I think I'm equally excited for both because again, in the college you got some changes. Obviously, with like say Alabama, Nick Saban's not there, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes down.
Mm-hmm.
I think is it this year. You know, you got the expansion of the playoffs, so it's going to be interesting to see that. Also, going to be interesting to see some of these super conferences start to form. So, with the SEC and the Big Ten, you know, uh, having their new, you know, the Pac-12 basically dissolving and going to the Big Ten and part of the Oklahoma and Texas sliding over to the SEC. So be interesting to see all those things. Um, and then the NFL has done a good job, as they always do, keeping keeping their name at the top of the list, even in the off season. So you got a lot of stuff going on there. Obviously, love it or hate it, people want to see if the Cowboys going to crash and burn again, or how they're going to crash and burn. I'm not taking any shots at you. I'm just saying that's just the sentiment. um, but you know,
Hey,
uh,
we know we drive ratings, man.
yeah. But with their whole, are they, how much they're gonna sign Dak, or they gonna sign CD Lamb, or they gonna sign not so much sign, extend Dak, CD Lamb,
Parsons. Oh,
and Parsons. What Pittsburgh gonna do? What's my man in Pittsburgh? Tom uh, uh,
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. I'm sorry. He shut me up last year. 'Cause I thought last year was his do or die year. You know, could Pittsburgh do another uh nine
There
and
you go.
nine and eight, nine and
Can
eight?
Coach Prime win their conference this year in the Pac-2?
Oh, in
Well,
college. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
yeah,
it's a lot. I'm equally waiting to see both of them.
exactly. And
All
that
right,
that was
hand,
my
go
when
ahead.
I
What
look
you got?
I looked at this question and immediately I said, I love both. So it's not a decision that I can easily make because like he went down, he ran the gambit of so many storylines in both. Yeah, we want to see Division One's only historically black college in Colorado. We want to see what happens out there. We want to see what happens in Alabama if who follows Nick Saban, if that can, if they can carry the torch, or if it's over. We want to see if Kirby can have another, juggernaut football team. So Texas full-fledged in the SEC, and with everything that they've done with all the NIL money. If you watched how their recruits came in, they had Lamborghinis lined up leading into the athletic facility.
Look like Skittles out
look
there.
at yeah, I mean, this thing is just through the roof, man. Michigan and coming off a national championship, what they do with a new head coach now. There's so many storylines in college, but then there's the NFL again. Is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, are they destined to come back and just, feed this dynasty? Is Lamar Jackson, ready to take that next step, or is he always gonna almost get there? What happens in Buffalo now? There's a whole different regime thing happening there with all the moves that they've made, the defense they've lost. Now, Jakeem, as we call him, he got to carry that offense. He's already carried it. Now he has to carry without number one receiver, who was his number one receiver. So there's so many storylines. I don't even want to talk about it. Every time there's a lull in sports, whether it's a springtime, fall, winter, it doesn't matter. Soon as that star and they talk about that on any network, it's gonna drive ratings. And that's what we do. You hate them or love them. So he said, I'm not lying. You either hate them or you love them, but either way, they're gonna be talked about. And whether they pay Dak, which Lord, I hope they don't. I do not want to pay and be hamstrung with Dak. Dak is going to Dak. So getting back to your original question, which one am I looking forward to? I can't, there's no distinguishing which one. I love football. So I'll be watching. I can't wait. Just like Asa said, when the ball goes up and the kickoff start, don't call me. It's a wrap. I'm gonna be locked in this dungeon watching games. So I can't make a distinction between the two, big homie.
And we didn't even mention the hometown, the Hawks. I mean the Hawks, the Falcons.
Well, they did in the chat. There you go, right there.
So is Captain Kirk gonna do what he's been doing his whole career? Get to the playoffs and fizzle out, or he's coming off a major injury. How soon do we start barking for Penix to come in?
Soon as the preseason started, and he out there throwing dimes against the fifth and sixth person that ain't gonna play this year, and he looking like he out there looking like Jefferson Street Joe or Joe Willie Namath and throwing that thing all around. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Remember, this is that's where the black people is going to be out there tailgating, and he's going to automatically have that fan base. And let Cousins come out and throw his first interception and see what happens. Because he's gonna light it up in preseason. I'm telling you, he's gonna light it up in preseason, and that's gonna start it. That's going to start it.
So it's a lot. It's a lot on, like I said, on both sides. So I'm ready for spring game, spring camp. Like I said, yellow, blue and orange. I pull for the Auburn Tigers, so that game. But it's going to be real interesting football all the way around this year, as it normally is. But I think this year is just going to have a little bit more going on.
All right, real quick on my next subject, I got
right, Marlon.
The damn, I keep okay. The NBA offseason, Mikal Bridges get traded, and I told y'all that New York was they worry about the offseason trying to get all the Villanova balls over to New York. I told you that's why they lost the series. But I'm not one of those I told you so type guys. I got receipts. I got it in the archive. But your thoughts on Mikal Bridges going to New York and what does this do for the Eastern Conference?
Who you call it?
I would say for New York, it will give them some more depth. You know, the problem with New York is Thibodeau can't be running a playoff rotation for 82 games during the regular season. So um, hopefully this gives them a little bit more depth and guys can be a little bit fresher when they get to the postseason under Thibodeau. So
Yeah, I like the move totally. I think I don't know if they're through though, because I don't know if they're going to do what they're going to be able to do with Julius Randle. I think I heard that OG opted out, but I think I know they want to sign him back. I think you got to have enough wings out there to defend against teams like the Celtics. And I think they're built, as we saw teams build for champions. You see what happened in Minnesota. They built themselves to take on Denver. And it ended up, doing it. And I think the Knicks are playing the long game, looking to be able to, match up with teams like this, with a team like the Celtics. And they have done that with the length on the perimeter and the nation's defense. Now, the problem that I'm worried about is how much of a toll this takes on Thibodeau. To Asa's point, it adds depth, but he has to sometimes go into his bench and not ride these guys to like 30 and 40 minutes a game. I'm wondering how much of a toll that take on them playing this year going into next year. It might have been fortunate that they didn't continue on throughout the playoffs because he was playing these guys almost 40 minutes a game. It was crazy. Yeah. So I think adding the depth of Bridges, the only problem is Bridges doesn't miss games at all. I don't think he's missed a game in the NBA since he got drafted. So that's right up Tibbs' alley. He gonna play until he can't stand up, and that's the only thing that worries me is Tibbs. That's what he's the antithesis of San Antonio and Popovich. He don't believe in nothing about that resting. And if you go back and look at the guys that have played for him, yeah, it may be a coincidence, but you look at Derrick Rose, look at Joakim Noah. It was a couple of other ones that he's had that have just been worn out.
It's not a coincidence. They've never been. It's not a coincidence. It's definitely because of Tibbs. It ain't no coincidence.
Yeah.
He is the common denominator.
Yeah. That's what worries me. But yeah, in the long run, I like the move. I think Bridges is one of those guys that I talk about with you all the time, where you identify them. He's not a superstar, but let's just say when you look at what the Knicks are, they got a lot of high spades on that team. They don't have no jokers, but they got some aces, some high. If you're playing deuces, they got some wild deuces on that team. They got a couple of jacks that'll walk. They got a nice hand there. So if they can sign back a little bit of size, I think they're going to lose the big the white black dude, because I think he's a brother, but white in the center, I think they're going to lose him. But they still have Robinson that they can keep him here.
They just picked up Klingen.
Yeah. Who picked him up?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, Klingen went to Portland.
Portland. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. You won't see him nowhere. They play on the West Coast, and he'll be getting dunked on by somebody. He'll make Sports Center getting dunked on.
There it is. All right, fellas. We have reached the end of our roundtable discussion. So now we'll go bring in a little fun. We're gonna let Asa have a little fun with us tonight. So now it's time for our SRT fun bag. I think we deserve a little music for this one. Let me see. There we go. Let's see what we can do. Go a little daydream. All right, Asa. Only for you, buddy. Only did this for you. First question. SRT fun bag. And everybody in the chat, you already know how we do. Go ahead and put your questions in the comments so we can go ahead and read them out for you. The first question is this. Back in the day when when call waiting and three-way calling was available, how did you use it and did you abuse it? Ace, I'll let you start out with that.
Man, I'm trying to remember. Cause you had to pay for three-way calling initially. I don't think we had it initially when it first came out.
Oh wow, okay.
All you was getting was that beep beep beep.
And to click the
we were the second level of poor. We had the OR. We wasn't poor, but we was poor.
Oh, okay, there you go. All right, Han, let me see what you got on that.
Now, one thing I was worried about was somebody, a couple of them calling me, and I didn't know that third person was on the line. That's what used to worry me. So yeah, I ain't too much get into clicking over and all that kind of stuff and three-way calling. Nah, I might have got hooked into something and somebody told on me or whatever. I got in trouble or something, but you know how it is. But I never really used the three-way thing like that much.
Yeah, Cuz said he abused it. He had folk beefing. Okay. And I guess Marlon, Asa Marlon laughing at you and say you were middle poor.
Middle poor, man.
Yeah. I would say this. I used it to prove points. Like when the fellas didn't believe I did something to a female, I had the female on the phone and called my man and prove, something like that and whatever. I use it to to prove my receipts.
You use it for validation.
Yeah, validation. There you go. Marlon said he abused three-way calling too. All right, good.
I was just hoping I wouldn't get caught up.
All right, here we go. Second question. Saturday morning breakfast or Sunday dinner? Which do you prefer? All right, Asa, what you got?
I'm Sunday dinner, man. Give me Sunday dinner.
Saturday morning
Sunday
breakfast
dinner.
or Sunday dinner?
Sunday dinner, but shoot, the older I get, man, you give me a good breakfast, and I know that nap coming. but I had to go with that Sunday dinner though. Sunday dinner, the aunties get together and throw something. You know what I mean? So Sunday dinner.
Okay, I'm going with Sunday dinner as well.
Definitely when I was
Sunday dinner.
Definitely when I was eating meat. Yeah, when I was eating meat and that man, it's like soul food. But now, man, food ain't even fun no more. Man, I can't eat nothing, so it ain't fun.
I see people hollering Sunday dinner all the way live. All right, third question. Did you have a cleanup song on Saturday morning when you cleaned up? Did you have one or did your mama have a cleanup song from back in the day when you cleaned up on Saturday?
Oh man, we had cleanup songs, baby. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
We had cleanup songs, so I mean.
Do you remember any of the songs that you had?
I mean, with my mom and then, my parents were older, so, Four Top, Smokey, all those guys. As I got older, I had older siblings, we would get, Michael Jackson. I literally today was listening to some Phil Collins. I had, I threw on some old Genesis.
Yeah, there you go. I had caught Marlon down with you on that Isley Brothers.
Oh yeah, I love that. But normally, I'm gonna be honest with you. Back in that time, on Saturday morning, it was my grandma. She used to put the Hawkins family on, all them gospel stuff like that. They be on playing when I knew what time that was. We be getting together then. So it was more gospel thing like that then. But later, as time got older, we put on some stuff.
Somebody said CC
CeCe
Peniston.
How many of y'all remember that CC Peniston Tracy
Boy,
talking about?
I almost did the song. CC. That's all
There you
Beyonce
go.
copying now anyway.
How many of y'all remember that Love and Happiness on Saturday morning? Clean it up.
Oh, yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. You better talk about it.
Little AG.
And I'm gonna be real. That "Do Me Baby" by Melissa Morgan. Clean it up on Saturday morning. And that was on the 45 too. Hello. Marlon say CC used to jam. That's what I'm talking about. All right, fellas. We're running up against it, so let me go ahead and get it out the way. What was the song back in the day that you fell asleep on the phone with your boyfriend or girlfriend? What was that song you fell asleep on the telephone when you probably weren't supposed to be on it anyway?
I ain't really fall asleep with no song, big homie. We be talking, and wouldn't say you hang up. No, you hang up. I'm waiting on you to hang up. We did that way, so if you want to call that singing up, I'm waiting on you to hang up. But I don't really have no song we play. Just neither one of us want to hang up.
That what it was. Neither one of y'all wanted to hang up, man.
I would call into the radio station, try to dedicate a song. You know what I mean? Trying to get it to dedicate a song all the time. It was going to be.
All right, so let me put it to you. Let me ask you this way: when you was trying to be smooth and romantic, was there a song that you wanted to play to somebody while y'all was on the phone late night? Got your head up under the covers and all that.
Yeah. Well, see, now you talking about that "Do Me Baby" you talking about was different than mine. My "Do Me Baby" was Prince "Do Me Baby." That was the one that was playing. Yeah, do right now. Yeah, Prince was talking nasty stuff. So yeah, it is what it is.
See, Ho them had money. They had the wireless phone.
I
was so stuck to the wall. I couldn't get.
Because first of all, we didn't even have a house phone until I got in high school.
Big homie, the whole bathroom used to be the telephone booth. You see the cord. You see the cord stretched from the living room all the way down the hall into the bathroom. That's where you got the quiet part of the car. that was the phone booth.
Yeah, Marla said the quiet song.
That's the way. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give y'all one song that I did. "Tender Love."
Oh yeah. Okay.
I thought that was just. I put that "Tender Love" on. You already know that I'm trying to make a move with you.
I heard that.
Marlon said the cord be 200 feet long.
Yup. That's what I'm talking about.
That was some good cord though, because it always came back.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. My last question of the night is fill in the blank. I would take a free trip blank right now today.
And go anywhere.
Free trip now.
Free trip. I would take a free trip blank right now today. Where will you go? Where are you going?
I want to go back to Vegas because I want to see that spirit. I want to see what's going on with that. That's where I go because Vegas to me is the adult Disney World. So that's where I'm going.
Going to Vegas, okay. Han, I think I might ride in the car with you on that one.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. Vegas. I ain't mad at the Bahamas though, cuz. That's what's up.
I just want to say, man, you dropped me off in the Caribbean, man. I need to see blue water. So
definitely
anywhere in the Caribbean, huh?
Anywhere in the Caribbean.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm with you on that Vegas, but I'm also going with the Dominican Republic. Going there and get me see if I get my cigar brand back up again, and I like the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Tracy
Bahamas
saying
do
Greece.
sound good.
Everybody want to go out the country. Everybody want to use their passport, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. They better go for Trump and get back in office because they might not get back.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the DR is somewhere I would definitely want to go first. That in Vegas.
Tracy, Tracy, I hit you up to tell you where you need to go in Greece. I've been a couple of times, so Greece is not a bad look.
Cuz say he going to Omaha, Nebraska.
Back to Omaha.
Why he ain't going out the country?
Hey man. I don't know, but there used to be a nice little summer jump when we were young. I used to go visit Marty up there in Omaha, man. I almost set a little white boy on fire though. I remember that.
Did you? Okay. Hey Marty, I mean Tracy said cool. She said once he hit the lottery tonight, she'll be reaching out to you for the spots to go in Greece.
The places.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Memphis to exact easy, man.
Cool.
Memphis, I think, just took Zach Edey.
Oh, okay. I had stopped watching.
Yeah, they took him. That means they needed somebody to replace Stephen Big Boy.
Yeah, for sure.
Adam.
All right, man. You already know when the music playing, it's time to get up out of here. We're about 7 minutes behind, but yep. Marlon said, yep, Memphis took the steal. But I want to shout out. On too. Yeah, he will be. Yeah, everybody go try to get a post of that. I want to shout out to Asa for coming through, Hancock for pushing that gas, trying to get home on this lovely night where it was super hot outside today. So yeah, I hope you either had the AC on 63 or whatever. Shout out to everybody who tuned in. Shout out to my main man E-Dub for coming through. And his prediction was right. He said that they were going to take Ricochet Rabbit, as Hancock has given him a nickname. I guess Marlon, he like our lyrics on our SRT thing. He said, let the lyrics play out.
There it is.
Well, we ain't got nothing but the next camera right now.
Thanks for coming through, man. Shout out Asa, man. I enjoy hanging out with you tonight, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you coming in, holding it down. Yes, sir. But, hey, man, shout out to everybody who wants to draft with us. That's good. That's what's up. But, hey, shout out to the Hawks, man. We got another basketball player.
Yeah.
They said, big homie.
All right, Asa, go ahead. What you got?
One time, to SRT, to Hancock, and to you, H.O., I appreciate you, man. I always have a good time when I come through. And I appreciate the love you gave me earlier, being concerned about my health that I had going on. So I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely.
Always a good time.
Yeah, man, for sure. That's how we do around here, man. We show love and we give love. That's all we're about. We trying to inspire. We trying to inspire the world one by one, person by person. That's all we're trying to do. So, absolutely. Glad you back with us and glad you are still with us, matter of fact. So, yeah, let's get it on. Let's get it on in, baby. So, yeah, man, great show tonight. Thank you, Coach, for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
I was almost going to call you and see if you can come on to the show, and if Hancock wasn't gonna make it, but Hancock said he gonna pull a rabbit out of his hat. So I just made one phone call when Asa said he was coming through. I said, well, we gonna do this thing on we're gonna do the figure 8 tonight. So and we did our a great job. The Figure Eight, we did our thing. So man, we sure appreciate it. And again, happy birthday to my cousin Jay Myrick. And man, I went up there and spent a little time with him. And man, what a feeling. Have y'all? My last question I was gonna put on the fun bag was that is there anybody that you related to the people may not know that you are related to? I know Hancock, I know who you gonna say.
Yeah.
Asa, are you related to anybody that people don't know?
If you a football historian, Charlie Brown used to play for the Washington Commanders, now Redskins in the 80s. My cousin.
Okay. Yeah, I'm related to the drummer boy, one of the hit makers out there. So shout out to my extended family, drummer boy.
Yep, DJ Drummond. Yes, sir. I already knew that. The only reason I brought it up, check this out. Me and Jay met in the 5th grade, and that's when we became best friends and basketball historians together and all that. And later on in high school, we found out we were related. Ain't that something? And Cuz just said we were related to Lou Hudson. So, all right, so there you go. Okay. I just found that out just now. So
that's what's up.
There you go. So basketball is in the blood, I guess.
It is.
Basketball is in the blood. Boom, boom, boom. How about that? All right, once again, y'all, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We can do this all night, but we got to get up out of here. All right, Han, you know how we do it. Asa, we appreciate it, bro. And you already know. You be safe too, Martin. All right, Han, let's get up out of here. Let's roll.
Boogie, I'm headed home, baby.
This your main man, H.O. from Bankhead. R.I.P. Moms and Pop. R.I.P. BC. And if you love the show,
tell a friend.
And if you didn't,
we should have traded back.
There it is. And we out of here. Peace.
Peace.